Good evening, and I do trust it's been fantastic. It is another beautiful day where we get to have you informed here on KUTV's news at 9. Let's get the highlights.
Public university lecturers commence strike after government talks collapse, disrupting learning nationwide. President William Ruto escalates attacks on the opposition while unveiling new investment plans at the coast. The High Court rejects former Kiambu Governor Waititu's bid to overturn 12-year corruption sentence. And Member of Parliament Gitonga Mukunji claims political rivals and rogue police officers conspired to assassinate him while in custody.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Yvonne Kemuma.
That's right. On the sign language interpretation, we have Brian Peru. Do remember to engage with us on X at KUTV_Kenya and at Kemuma_Monari. We are streaming live on YouTube at KUTV News. Kenya will begin. Now, in matters of education, public university lecturers and staff across the country have downed their tools after talks with government stalled. The University Academic Staff Union says that the state has failed to honor a collective agreement and settled accumulated salary arrears, leaving students stranded and learning disrupted.
Barely a day after Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos announced that a deal has been struck, lectures and tutorials ground to a halt as dons made good on their strike threat. At the heart of the standoff are unpaid dues, despite the Treasury releasing 2.5 billion shillings as part of the debt. Union leaders insist they will not return to class until full payments are made, forcing thousands of students to leave campuses as learning activities remain indefinitely suspended.
The government and the ministry and whoever is concerned are not lucky because we are the experts of strikes. Hatutabanduka hapa until the day pesa ina hit account.
We need people who are adding value to councils of universities.
The paralysis has sparked anxiety among students, many of whom are worried about the disruption of their academic calendar.
We support the strike. Wanini tu, wagome tu, because the only language that Kenyans, that the government understand ni mgomo.
Mgomo umeathirika masomo, ujura anapotezea muda wangu wa kusoma na pia mzazi amelipa karo. Sasa ngoja najua niko shule, basi sasa juu walimu wamegoma niko nyumbani, and then it affect the other side.
For final year students, frustration is mounting. They say the ongoing strike is piling pressure and costs at a time when they should be preparing to graduate.
With the public university dons marking its first strike today, students remain uncertain of their academic calendars as they await to see if there will be any agreements between the lecture unions and the government. Rose Kaguku, KUTV, Nairobi.
Many thanks, Rose, for that report. Now let's move on, where President William Ruto has sharpened his political battle lines ahead of the coming elections, launching scathing attacks on opposition leaders while campaigning new investment opportunities at the coast. His remarks come amidst growing political realignment across the country.
At the Kilifi County International Investment Conference in Vipingo, President William Ruto unveiled a major Chinese investment while warning opposition leaders against fueling unnecessary election campaigns. He vowed to reveal damaging information about his rivals once the campaign season begins.
Mimi ninataka niwaeleze wale wa siasa mingi wakomeshe siasa kwanza, tufanye kazi. Tunataka kupanua kwanza, tujenge reli na barabara kwanza. Hapa Mombasa mnahitaji maji, ni kweli ama si kweli? Hapa Mwache, serikali ya Kenya tunatumia bilioni 30 kuhakikisha kwamba maji zaidi inapatikana Mombasa County, Kwale County.
Prominent coastal leaders including Mombasa Governor Abdulsomad Nasir rallied behind the president, praising his outreach and warning that the opposition will resort to propaganda in 2027.
Your Excellency, najua wakati hauko na sisi. And I know you've been insisting, yes, and you know you've been insisting huko na safari ambao kwamba itakuwa ni nje ya Kenya. Lakini mimi nauliza, mkiangalia upande huu, ni fire si fire? Ukiangalia uzuri zaidi, ni noma si noma?
Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, who has recently spoken of a formidable alliance between Ruto, Raila and himself, reiterated that development must remain a priority even as political drama heats up. Away from the political fireworks, Ruto commissioned the 16.6-kilometer Mombasa commuter rail link connecting the CBD, inspected the Jomvu Bridge interchange to ease traffic and boost port operations, and launched new units under the Affordable Housing Program in Nyali. Ruto's push to consolidate coastal support, coupled with the growing rift at the top, highlights the tensions and uncertainties already shaping the road to 2027. Rose Karori, KUTV.
Well, moving on, a day after the High Court issued an arrest warrant for a British soldier accused of killing 21-year-old Agnes Wanjiru in 2012, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has clarified that the matter now lies not on the hands of the ministry, but on the hands of the Foreign Affairs Ministry and the Defence Ministry. The British authorities, on the other hand, reaffirmed their commitment to supporting justice.
We have a joint defense agreement, cooperation agreement between us and Britain, and there are procedures that are being followed. And when you are dealing with matters of extradition, it's a both diplomatic issue but also a defense issue in this situation. And I think I would rather leave that to Minister of Foreign Affairs and the diplomatic channels within the defense to see how best that can be handled, because we have a good working relationship between the two countries, and I don't think there is we will struggle to find the right cooperation. Britain and Kenya have, of course, very long historical relations, as it's already known, pre-colonial, from colonial, pre-colonial, post-colonial to modern Kenya. So the whole thing is requires proper diplomatic channels to deal with it.
Now, the Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has warned politicians against funding criminal groups and using them for political errands in Siaya County. Murkomen made these remarks during the 41st Jukwaa la Usalama Security Forum held in Siaya County today, where security stakeholders discussed security challenges facing the county. Murkomen addressed issues such as the illegal alcohol trade, security threats around Lake Victoria, cases of gender-based violence, and other security challenges.
An area that I think requires our joint collaboration to make sure that it's properly regulated. On the other issue that we are dealing with in this region is the question of violence, especially goons and hooligans and gangs. As you know, that in the past we had a big problem with what was called 42 Brothers and other gangs, both operating between here and Kakamega County, Vihiga and other places. A lot of good work has been done, operation has been done in this region, and these activities have subsided. What we are witnessing is hooliganism. Sometimes young people being procured to carry political activities, and competitors are using young people to disrupt each other meetings and so forth. Again, like we have said in all other counties, this is an area that we must deal with decisively. The few elements also within the border sector who are all.
The High Court has dismissed a new petition by the former Kiambu County Governor Ferdinand Waititu seeking to have his 12-year sentence reviewed. High Court Judge Lucy Njuguna rejected the request after hearing the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions the reviewing of the sentence for the veteran politicians currently serving time for the economic crimes related to corruption. Now, Manyata Member of Parliament Gitonga Mukunji has accused political rivals and rogue police officers of conspiring to assassinate him while he was in custody earlier this year. The Member of Parliament, who has been embroiled in the ongoing political tensions, made the serious claims in an exclusive statements, raising concerns over the involvement of the law enforcement and political adversaries.
Speaking at a bursary ceremony at the University of Embu, the first-time legislator revealed chilling details about his arrest. Mukunji Manyata MP accused political rivals and rogue police officers of plotting to end his political career. Manyata MP Gitonga Mukunji credited his survival to divine providence and loyal well-wishers within the system. He alleged his aides were arrested and pressured to sign false statements implicating him.
Mimi nataka kuwauliza hapa, kwa sababu hii ni public participation. Niendelee kusimama na nyinyi ama nisiendelee? Siwasikii vizuri, niendelee kusimama na nyinyi ama nisiendelee? Wangapi wanasema niendelee kushikana na kuendelea na wewe? Kabisa.
Gitonga Mukunji alleges a deliberate plot to silence him, claiming his arrest was aimed at ending his political career. He revealed divisions within the police, with some officers involved in the conspiracy, while others secretly protected him.
Lakini polisi wengine walikuja wakaambiwa hapo na wakaniambia tunakupenda sana. Polisi hapo wakaanza kuniambia tunakupenda sana. Wakapeana report, after simu zangu zimechukuliwa, walipeana report. Wakasema Mukunji ameshikwa, ndio familia yangu ikajua. I want to call upon the people who have been given responsibility. Please, you might be today a big person, lakini kesho ukuwe mtu wa kawaida.
Gitonga was initially charged with terrorism at Kahawa Law Courts, where he was released after prosecutors failed to present evidence. Defiant, he vowed not to bow to intimidation and urged security agencies to resist political manipulation.
Now, intelligence officers from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations (DCI) have arrested a suspect involved in defrauding a Canadian national of $280,000, equivalent to approximately 36,170,000 shillings. The suspect, Abbas Badu Ombuyoka, coined the international investor by falsely claiming to sell 550 kilograms of gold from the Democratic Republic of Congo. The suspect was arrested here in Nairobi along Dennis Pritt Road. Now, away from such matters, let's take our first commercial break here on KUTV News at 9. Do engage with us on X at KUTV_Kenya, at Kemuma_Monari. See you on the other side.
A new era, a new people. This is the Law Matters Show. A program that brings you legal sensitization on your television.
My statement is written and just the quote the prosecution.
I think that this loss is a setback for Raila Odinga.
What policy recommendations were fronted by the candidate?
With diversity, we demystify important legal issues locally, regionally, and internationally.
What Tanzanians.
Join me, Elvin Onsongo, as I bring you more insights on law matters.
We are looking at social issues. What is the problem? Is it the economy? Is it...
Law Matters Show, creating awareness, advocacy, and enhancing lives.
Are you ready to take charge of your health? Welcome to Focus on Health, your weekly guide to staying informed and living better. Join me every week as I sit down with trusted medical experts.
Gynecology is basically a field concerned with mainly the female genitalia.
Explore real-life stories
during when the patient come in,
and bring you updates and tips that are beneficial to your health. Because health isn't just important, it is everything. Tune in to Focus on Health every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. only on KUTV. I'm your host, Kandia Marian, and I'll see you then.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Yvonne Kemuma.
And welcome back. I am doing this with Brian Perro on the sign language interpretation. Will continue. 6 people have been reported dead in a road accident that occurred in the Kipsitet in Kericho, Kisumu Road, after a truck carrying scrap metal fell on them. The victims were waiting to board a bus at the bus boarding area in Kipsitet. 4 others survived the accident but were left injured. The governor of Kericho County, Eric Mutai, visited the accident site and joined the residents to mourn the deceased. The governor promised to install speed bumps on the road. A court of appeal judge, Justice Fred Ochieng, has passed away today at his residence in Loresho. Justice Fred Ochieng was the chairperson of the Court Annex Mediation Task Force. His death was announced by Chief Justice Martha Koome, who described him as a lawyer dedicated to the growth of commercial law and strategies for resolving disputes. The president of the Law Society of Kenya, Faith Odhiambo, also eulogized Judge Fred Ochieng as a champion of justice who discharged his functions with gentle praise and distinguished excellence. The government is reaffirming its commitment to tackling Kenya's youth unemployment crisis. Speaking at the African Youth Pathways and Resilience Change Conference, Youth Affairs Cabinet Secretary announced new measures to support innovation, entrepreneurship, and self-employment, promising to turn creative ideas into jobs.
The government have taken into concern the pressing need to empower young innovators. At the African Youth Pathways to Resilience Change Conference, Cabinet Secretary for Youth Affairs and Sports, Fikirini Jacobs, announced support for 306 youth, 250 participants in 2024 to 2025 final year, with the Partnership for African Social and Governance Research and the MasterCard Foundation, attended by various leaders.
2024-25, Kenya supported 306 innovators to showcase their innovations and startups on board 216
6 innovations, 250 institutions, 16 organizations, and 1,267 innovators into Kenya's Innovation Bridge, an online platform that creates linkages and networks for innovators. Train 18 innovators to commercialize their innovations, establish the Innovation Agency.
Bay Senator Moses Kajwang stressed the need for systems that ensure fair competition for jobs, urging government to broaden opportunities beyond youths competing among themselves.
Because I believe that if we deal and fix the problems of the youth and the problems of the women, we have fixed the problems of the nation. And so it's important for some of us from the political class to be present to listen to some of the research findings and to build an intersection between research and practical political action. I think it is that intersection that Professor has now presented, and it is that mezzanine that we will operate and find ways of ensuring the clever things that you.
According to Professor Fadel Ndiame, the initiative seeks to shape policies that empower Africa's youth as innovators of change.
Africa-wide program, as I mentioned earlier, PASGARD is an Pan-African institution whose sole purpose is to make sure that our policy making is informed by evidence. And working in collaboration with MasterCard Foundation and the government of Kenya, we are launching this program to identify the pathway of promoting youth-led, youth-supported, youth-defined agenda to sustainability and system change.
Young participants also highlighted challenges in their workplace, citing discrimination against persons with disabilities and cases where qualified youths are offered jobs that don't match their skills, a trend they say undermines progress.
Then nikauliza kwa gate, nikawa request kama naweza ona human resource, wakaniambia they don't allow people like me. Walisema na Kiswahili, haturuhusu watu kama wewe kuingia katika hii kampuni yetu. Nikamuuliza watu kama mimi kiaje. Alikuwa anachukua muda kujibu. Ananiambia watu walemavu, kwanza hata kusema walemavu alisema viwete tuwaruhusu huko kwetu. Na akaniuliza nataka nini kwa human resource.
The program is now set to expand research and employment initiatives across 10 African countries, among them Kenya, Nigeria, Uganda, Ethiopia, Rwanda, Ghana, and Senegal over the next 3 years. Berry Lotieno reporting for KUTV.
Now, let's move on to the counties. Across counties, leaders highlight the need for political tolerance, social harmony, and investment in young people. From legal wins to education boosts and appeals for calm, here is a report on news from across the country.
In Kirinyaga County, the former Deputy Governor Peter Ndambiri welcomed a court decision compelling the county government to pay him 5 million shillings in withheld house allowances. He urged leaders to practice political tolerance and focus on unity for the county's progress before 2027 election.
Nilinyimwa pesa yangu ya housing allowance ambayo imekuwa constitutionally approved na ikatumwa circular na memos kutoka kwa SRC. Na deputy governors wote wa wakati wangu in Kenya walikuwa wanalipwa pesa zao. Lakini yangu ya Kirinyaga ninalipwa, mtu anaweka kwa mfuko ya hiyo bwana, hiyo ni ungwana ama si ungwana? Na sasa nasikia ati anasema ati nikilipwa nitapata pesa ya kampeni. Hiyo ni pesa kidogo sana, pesa ya kampeni niliweka
In Mombasa County, Charlene Ruto called for increased investment in young people's education at the reopening of Bala Comprehensive School. She applauded the new education system and promised to support the school's library. Local leaders emphasized the upgraded facilities' importance in fostering practical skills and leadership.
We very intentionally say young people, not youth, because we believe for there to be fundamental change in our society, we have to begin investing in the young people from an earlier age, even before the age of 18 years old. So we keep saying in our circles that young people are not just the future, they are the present.
Garissa elders have expressed gratitude to President William Ruto for appointing leaders from marginalized communities to senior government roles. They welcomed recent appointments as evidence of the president's dedication to inclusive leadership, equitable representation, and continued development in the northeastern region.
Tumekutana kupongeza rais wetu William Samoei Ruto kwa kumpatia mara ya pili moja yetu Ahmed Duale kuwa chairman ya Wasonyiro North River Basin Development Authority. Tunamshukuru yeye, ametufanyia mambo mingi sisi watu kutoka sehemu hiyo ya idara.
On the other hand, Kiambu County leaders urge you to scale down protests and promote peace to enable government focus on economic recovery and development. Speaking at Samuel Gatama's burial, they emphasized that calm is essential for the country's socio-economic progress.
Shukuru wa Kenya wote hasa chipukizi au wanarika kwa sababu wametulia na wametupatia nafasi ya kufikiria na kuona ni vipi tunaweza panua kikazi maisha yao, kwa sababu kama hakuna vita nasi tunapata nafasi ya kuwashughulikia. Na niwaambie, na wakati tunakuwa na furugu viwanda vyote vimefungwa, na ni wakati kuna furugu wakituona kwa barabara na kwingineko kazi ni kupungua inapungua. Kwa hivyo mimi niwaombe wanalika na watu wote tafadhali kwa unyenyekevu mwingi mno mkubali tuwahudumie.
County leaders call for peace, unity and investment in youth, highlighting the importance of collaboration and inclusion to drive sustainable development and national progress. Edna Nerea, KUTV, Nairobi.
Now, moving on, Bishop Robert Nyamwange is championing inclusivity within the clergy, urging the church to embrace diverse leadership as a way of strengthening its growth and relevance in modern society.
During his visit to Kisii, Bishop Robert Nyamwange called on church leaders and members alike to recognize the importance of inclusivity. He stressed that leadership should reflect the diversity of the community, ensuring that all voices are heard and all members feel represented in the church affairs. According to the bishop, the approach will not only strengthen the church internally, but also enhance its impact in the wider society.
We are planning to bridge the gap between the church and the state. And that is why today we had a very important formal meeting with all the departmental heads in Kisii County. We are a house.
Highlighting the church's plan to foster stronger ties with the government, Bishop Nyamwange said collaboration and mutual respect between the church and the state are key to restoring the church's integrity and rightful place within the community.
And finding areas of collaboration.
As the church moves forward, Bishop Nyamwange's message for inclusivity remains central to his vision for a more unified and impactful community. He believes that by embracing diverse leadership and working closely with the state, the church will be better positioned to serve its members and contribute meaningfully to societal development. This call for inclusivity marks a hopeful step toward a more representative and engaged Kisii church.
Well, in the sporting world, Kenya has continued to win big in the Tokyo, Japan Marathon, with the Faith Kipyegon securing a win in the women's steeplechase. Kenyan counterpart Edmund Serem finished third in the men's steeplechase and secured bronze medal. Kenya has continued to showcase prowess in the games today, being the fifth day of the event. Kenyan Faith Kipyegon, who is Kenya's team captain, also already secured the 1,500 meters race gold, pacing the way for her Kenyan team. Now, Real Madrid fought back to beat Marseille 2-1 in the Bernabeu, with Mbappe scoring twice, with the sport. Juventus and Dortmund drew 4-4, while Karabag stand Benfica 3-2 tonight. Olympiacos will meet Pafos Slavia and face Bordeaux in the matches tonight. Well, we are now drawing the conclusion of this particular broadcast, and it is many thanks for choosing KUTV once again to keep you informed. I have not been alone. I have been doing this with Brian Peru, and on behalf of the entire team, have a good night.